Vin Diesel, born Mark Sinclair on July 18, 1967, entered the world with an unanswered question that would quietly follow him for years. His birth certificate listed no father, leaving a blank space that became part of his identity. Raised by his mother, Delora, an astrologer with Scottish roots, Vin grew up surrounded by curiosity rather than certainty. She never revealed the truth about his father, and even as an adult, Diesel chose not to pursue a DNA test, preferring mystery over definition. Alongside his twin brother, Paul Vincent, he was raised in New York City's Westbeth Artists Housing, a converted industrial space filled with painters, musicians, and dreamers. This environment replaced conventional structure with creative freedom. His stepfather, Irving Vincent, a respected theater director, became a guiding force, introducing Vin to performance, discipline, and storytelling, laying the foundation for a life shaped by imagination rather than limitation. An unlikely introduction to acting. Vin Diesel's first experience with acting arrived unexpectedly at the age of 7. After wandering into a local theater with friends, he was met not with punishment but with opportunity. The theater director offered scripts instead of consequences and invited the children to participate in rehearsals. Vin accepted and soon found himself performing in a play called Dinosaur Door. That single act of kindness changed the direction of his life. For the first time, he experienced the power of storytelling and the quiet confidence that performance brought him. In a childhood marked by unanswered questions, the stage gave him clarity and purpose. Surrounded by artists and mentors, Diesel began to see acting not just as entertainment, but as a way to express emotion, identity, and truth. That early moment planted a spark that never faded, guiding him through every chapter that followed. Growing up fast and learning strength. As Vin Diesel moved into his teenage years, life demanded resilience. He learned early how to support himself, balancing survival with ambition. To stay grounded and disciplined, he worked physically demanding jobs while continuing to nurture his creative dreams. During this period, he committed himself to fitness, not out of vanity, but as a form of structure and self-belief. With limited resources, he trained wherever he could, building both physical strength and mental endurance. These years shaped his presence and confidence, helping him grow into the commanding figure audiences would later recognize. Yet beneath the toughness was a quiet sensitivity, rooted in his love for storytelling and art. Even when the path forward seemed uncertain, Diesel held on to the belief that discipline and consistency could turn struggle into purpose. These formative experiences built the foundation for the perseverance that would later define his career. Education, literature, and a leap of faith. In 1987, Vin Diesel enrolled at Hunter College, choosing to study English literature to strengthen his understanding of story, language, and character. He immersed himself in classic works, believing that great acting began with great writing. Balancing work and school proved challenging, and by 1990, just a few credits from graduating, he faced a defining decision. Rather than follow a safe path, Diesel chose uncertainty. Inspired by independent filmmakers who created opportunities with limited means, he left college to pursue filmmaking on his own terms. Professors cautioned him about the industry's harsh realities, but his resolve remained strong. He believed that waiting for permission would only delay his purpose. This choice wasn't impulsive, it was intentional. Diesel trusted his instincts, convinced that risk, when paired with preparation, could lead to meaningful growth and creative freedom. Invisible in Hollywood. When Vin Diesel arrived in Hollywood, success did not follow quickly. His early appearances were brief and largely unnoticed, including a small, uncredited role in Awakenings. For years, he struggled to secure speaking parts, often facing confusion from casting directors who couldn't categorize him. He didn't fit neatly into the industry's limited boxes, and those limitations became barriers. Instead of growing bitter, Diesel grew resourceful. He recognized that waiting for acceptance would keep him invisible, so he chose to create his own work. These years tested his confidence and patience, forcing him to confront rejection repeatedly. Yet each setback sharpened his focus. Hollywood hadn't rejected his talent, only its ability to define him. That realization pushed him toward a bold decision, telling his own story, in his own voice, without compromise. Creating his own breakthrough. In 1994, Vin Diesel transformed frustration into creativity by making a short film titled Multifacial. He wrote, directed, produced, and starred in the project, drawing directly from his own experiences with identity and rejection. Made on a modest budget and filmed in just a few days, the story centered on an actor navigating an industry unwilling to see him fully. At one point, Diesel nearly abandoned the project, doubting its value. Encouraged by his stepfather, he completed it and submitted it to festivals. Slowly, the film began gaining attention, eventually reaching Cannes. The response was unexpected and powerful. Audiences connected with its honesty and emotional depth. Multifacial wasn't just a film, it was a declaration. Diesel proved that he didn't need permission to be seen. He had created his own doorway into the industry. The Spielberg moment. One of the copies of Multifacial found its way to Steven Spielberg, who immediately recognized Vin Diesel's authenticity and presence. Impressed by his emotional range, Spielberg created a role specifically for him in Saving Private Ryan. Though Diesel's screen time was limited, his performance left a lasting impression. He portrayed vulnerability, courage, and humanity in a way that resonated deeply with audiences. That role changed everything. It validated his years of persistence and opened doors that had once seemed sealed shut. Spielberg's belief in him wasn't just professional, it was affirming. For Diesel, this moment confirmed that originality and honesty could cut through even the most rigid systems. The industry had finally noticed not just his strength, but his heart, becoming a global action star. Following his breakthrough, Vin Diesel's career gained momentum. Films like Pitch Black showcased his ability to carry complex characters, but it was The Fast and the Furious that transformed him into a global star. As Dominic Toretto, Diesel brought intensity, loyalty, and emotional depth to a genre often driven by spectacle alone. The film's success exceeded expectations, resonating with audiences through its themes of belonging and chosen family. Rather than chase immediate profit, Diesel made bold choices, prioritizing long-term vision over short-term gain. His decisions reflected a deeper commitment to storytelling and character integrity. Over time, the franchise evolved into a global phenomenon, with Diesel stepping into a leadership role behind the scenes. He wasn't just acting, he was shaping a universe built on connection, respect, and shared purpose, brotherhood and loss. Among the most meaningful relationships in Vin Diesel's life was his bond with Paul Walker. What began as a professional partnership grew into a genuine brotherhood rooted in trust and mutual respect. Their chemistry on screen reflected a real connection off camera. When Walker's life was tragically cut short in 2013, Diesel was deeply affected. He honored his friend not through spectacle, but through quiet loyalty, supporting Walker's family and keeping his memory alive within the franchise. Naming his daughter Pauline was a personal tribute, symbolizing love beyond loss. The films themselves became a space for remembrance, weaving subtle acknowledgments into the story. For Diesel, friendship wasn't temporary or performative, it was permanent. This chapter of his life revealed the depth of his heart and the way grief reshaped his understanding of family, privacy, passion, and legacy. Despite global fame, Vin Diesel has remained protective of his private life. He values presence over publicity, choosing to raise his children away from constant attention. Waiting until later in life to become a father allowed him to approach parenting with patience and intention. Beyond film, Diesel nurtures creative passions, including his lifelong love of fantasy storytelling and role-playing games. These quieter interests reflect a man driven by imagination rather than applause. Today, his legacy extends beyond box office numbers. It lives in the stories he fought to tell, the people he remained loyal to, and the boundaries he set to protect what mattered most. Vin Diesel's journey proves that strength can coexist with sensitivity, and that true success is measured not just by achievement, but by integrity, connection, and heart.